What do you eat when you're doing winter touring? Skiing, snowshoeing, cycling in winter. If it's the temperature every day below zero and even going to -20, -30, all your food that's liquid will freeze. So you have to think about food that you can eat which doesn't freeze. You will use a lot of calories, not only for the exercise you're doing, but also for keeping you warm. Your body is all day outside in -20 degrees and it burns a lot of calories. You use easily in between 3,000 and 6,000 calories a day. So what do? We, first of all, for heating our food, we use two kinds of stoves. We have a fuel stove that we use as our basic stove most of the time because it's warm, very reliable. We make sure we bring enough fuel, white gas in this case. Sometimes we use normal gasoline, but in winter you don't want to use gasoline because it's a little dirty and it might clog up your stove, which is not fun if you have to do it with bare hands. Those things with -30 degrees. So we are very sure we use white gas and pure fuel so that our stove is always working. We also bring an emergency stove and an alcohol stove in case our fuel stove doesn't work. We also use this one in the morning because it's easier to use and it's quicker and not as warm to warm up our oatmeals in the morning. We have 2 pots, which is for 2 persons perfect to cook. You can cook pasta in one, the sauce in the other one, or just use one. It's also big enough to melt some snow. For the water we use these thermo bottles. We have a capacity of 3.5 liters of warm water that we can take. If we leave a warm place or we arrive in a small shelter with a wood stove, we make sure that we can melt snow or at least put boiling water in these thermo bottles. With temperatures going to -20, -30 degrees, at least for 3 days, this will keep your water from freezing. We have one Nalgene bottle, which of course is not a thermo bottle, but this one we use during the day during skiing. So we make in the morning or in the evening we put boiling water inside. If we sleep in a tent, we put this one in our sleeping bag, which warms up yourself and prevents this bottle from freezing. So what do we eat? For breakfast we made ourselves easy. We use oatmeal, a mix of granola, dried fruits, nuts, raisins and little chocolates. We have a mix of cacao and milk powder, and that's how we make our milk in the morning for the oatmeals. And in winter we add butter. Normally we don't add butter to our meals, but we need the extra fat in winter because with the cold temperatures you need the fat, you need slow energy that burns for a long time. So we add butter to the oatmeal in the morning. Then when we start skiing during the day, we eat some small snacks, granola bars, mostly one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And we stop for a lunch break. Normally our lunch breaks are with peanut butter, which is in winter very hard because it's get completely frozen, just like Nutella. So we have been thinking about another solution. We brought tortilla wraps. They get very hard, but if you take them out just before you prepare them and you put them close to your body, they will thaw out a little bit and get more flexible so you can prepare them. We add walnuts and sunflower seeds and grated Parmesan cheese. Normal cheese will freeze, but the Parmesan cheese like this doesn't freeze. A lot of proteins, fat and a good taste, a little bit salty, and it's not too dry to eat. When we arrive in camp, we eat some trail mix to get some energy, and then in the evening we use all dry food. We have prepared dehydrated food with a dehydrator, with a machine. So we made risotto with mushrooms, rice and beans, pasta sauce, which we dehydrated ourselves. Then we only have to boil some pastas, or these packages of mashed potatoes, which are very easy. With the risotto, the rice is already here, with the rice and beans as well. For the sauce, you can use normal sauce mixes. You only have to add some water, maybe some milk powder. For the proteins, we use soy proteins. You just add them to the boiling water. They dehydrate it and taste a little bit, or the texture is a little bit like ground beef, but it's soy. And we made a lot of packages of dried vegetables like mushrooms, carrots, onions, whatever vegetables we could find. We tried them and dehydrated them. We use in every meal at least 3 vegetables, and we do that in summer, and we try to do this in winter as well. So that's why we have 2 bags with a lot of dehydrated vegetables to make sure we have our vitamins every day. It's super lightweight, it doesn't freeze, and it needs only 5 to 10 minutes of hot water to absorb the water and to get soft again, and very tasty. And you want to treat yourself after dinner, just before going to bed, something to look forward to. For us, it's mostly chocolate. We use about 1 bar a day of chocolate, 100 grams. And that's something to look forward just before going to bed. Normally when we camp in summer, we take always 1 extra meal in case of emergency. In winter we take 2 extra meals. For us, as an emergency, we take these prepared packages. Actually, we don't really like the taste of these because it is very industrial, and we prefer the dehydrated food we made ourselves. But it's super easy in case of emergency. You just put in the boiling water, wait for 10 minutes, and it's ready to eat. We put all our food in 2 dry bags, so it won't get wet in winter, but you want to have your food a little bit organized. We have one with all the food for dinner, and the other one is breakfast and the snacks. For the food we bring during the day, the tortilla wraps and the cheese, we have it in our day pack, and we use this aluminum insulator, which in summer prevents your food from getting too hot, so it keeps it cold, but in winter it works the other way around, so it prevents a little bit your food from freezing. So we have the food we use for lunch, we have it in this container, and we put this just in our day pack during the day, and this food won't freeze if you put it in the morning when it's not frozen. Same with the granola bars. With minus 30 degrees they get very, very hard, but if you put them in the morning before you start skiing or snowshoeing, you put them in your pocket, then your body will warm them up, and they will get soft, at least eatable. These are our tips and tricks for eating in winter. I hope you can use some.